Hello, my friends. Welcome to my channel, and probably the last coloring page that I will be doing for 2022. I hope you guys are enjoying the holiday season. I certainly am. I have my little grandson this year, and he's, he's not quite 2 yet, but gosh, it's fun with little kids. It makes a whole huge difference, doesn't it? Okay, so this is Roxanne, and she is not necessarily a Christmas page, as you can probably see, but when I did the original, I did it in I kind of would consider these kind of Christmassy colors. And her top, I kind of envisioned being like a green velvet top. So I figured that this would be a good one to do for the last one of the year. Now, this one I did on, believe it or not, I still kind of can't believe it. This one I did on Strathmore toned tan paper. And somehow all the stars aligned for me, and I was able to get a really nice smooth finish the way I like my pages to be with this paper. That hardly ever happens. I don't know how it happened, but it did. But I'm going to try and do her again. I'm going to try and do this one for you on white paper, and I'm actually going to do something a little bit different than I have done in the past. I had mentioned to you guys that I was gifted a set of Derwent Lightfast pencils by a very, very sweet, dear lady who's been supportive of me and my YouTube channel and my everything having to do with coloring from the very beginning. And so it was a wonderful gift. And I'm always using Prismas and my luminance. So this time, just kind of to change things up a little bit, I'm going to try and use the Derwent Lightfast and probably some Polychromos. They're both oil-based pencils. I figured they would work well. They would work well together. And so this is... I want to say this isn't a color along because I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm not, I'm going to pick my colors as I go. I'm going to, and we're just going to see what happens. So for those of you who like to color along with me, I will continue to be doing those with my Prismas and my luminance. But I just thought for a little change of pace, we would try and do this with some other colors. So you will probably see me pulling these swatch charts out quite a bit. And I might do them on camera, show them and kind of figure out. But I'm going to be using these a lot to try and decide what colors I want to use next. I will say that my brain works in Prismacolors. So in my head, I'm going to start with, not because it's called Chestnut, but because of the color, I am going to start with the Lightfast Chestnut, because to me, that's the color that you start with. And I'm hoping, we'll see, if this comes in a little bit lighter on the white paper. Like I said, I don't know. This is going to be an experiment for me too. You're just going to kind of, you guys are stuck coming along for the ride on this one. And it may take me a while to find the pencils because they're all put away and I'm not totally familiar with the numbers yet. Cooper. There's a little dog walking across the street. No wonder he's barking like a mad dog. All right, so I'm going to start with my Derwent Lightfast in Chestnut. If you want to color this while I'm coloring and you want to use Prismas, by all means, please do. I'm hoping that some of you are familiar enough with, what you're doing and the colors that I normally use, if that's the direction that you want to go. So I'm already feeling like this is going to be too dark for the initial layer. I'm going to be a big chicken. I know, but I think it's too dark for the first layer. So the question then is, do I use, I hope this isn't too annoying and boring for you guys. So we have beige red in Polychromos, or we could use maybe cinnamon in Derwent Lightfast. So let me get out both. Let's just try that. It's all just an experiment. Speaking of experiments, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about staying in your comfort zone and fear. Okay, so this is beige red Polychromos, and the cinnamon in the Derwent Lightfast is right here. So one's going to be a little bit darker than the other. This is the cinnamon in the Derwent Lightfast. Okay, so the thing about fear and stepping outside of your comfort zone. Okay, give me a minute. This is not, seriously, I'm not calling this a color along. I'm calling this let's color and chat. Because I'm just not, I'm not familiar with these pencils. And I will repeat again that these, especially Polychromos, they're really sheer. So I'm not sure how well they're going to work on a grayscale. I know a lot of you use polys on grayscale. For me, I just feel like they're so sheer that they don't cover the grayscale well enough. So right now I can even tell, these are the Derwent Lightfast, that if I was using Prismacolors right now, I would have so much more color right here already. They really, really, really take a buildup of color. So I could be working on this one skin tone for 3 hours, possibly, because it takes so long to get the color on here. All right, well, we'll just keep going. Okay, so while I'm doing this, let's talk about fear and comfort zone. Let me adjust this lighting a little bit. And should I zoom in? Let's zoom into where we're at. There we go. Okay. So I'm noticing a whole lot of people saying things like, I don't color blank, insert something here. And not just necessarily, not recently, but I see it a lot. I see people in comments saying, oh, I can't do fur, or I can't color people, or you know, you name it, whatever it is. And I want to leave comments on those pages. I don't. I keep my thoughts to myself. But I want so much to stress to people that without... Okay, so here's the thing. If you don't want to color fur, if you just flat out do not want to color animals because you don't like animals, that's a completely, and I'm just using animals as an example. It could be, we could be talking about anything. That could, you know, if that's the reason, I don't like animals, I don't want to do them. That's one thing. But to not color something or do art, whatever it is that you're doing, to avoid something because you don't know how to do it, or because you don't do it well, or to just completely stay in your comfort zone and never go outside of your comfort zone, then your growth as an artist, and I do consider colorists artists, but I'll use the word colorist if that makes you happier. I don't know. Artists, colorists, whatever. If you're creating art, no matter how you're doing it, if you always stay in your comfort zone and you never, ever, ever practice or try new things, then you will never, ever, ever get better at those things. And that makes me sad because in truth, you know, you hear a lot of people say, I'm afraid. I'm afraid to mess up, or I'm afraid to, you know, maybe they don't want to share their work on in the groups or whatever, which is fine. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's absolutely nothing to be afraid of when it comes to coloring or making art. This is not, you know, we're not talking about like things that can affect other people, that can, you know, this is purely an enjoyable pastime. And all your wasting, all you have to lose is some time and some paper, a piece of paper, and a little bit of your colored pencil. If you don't like the way something turns out, you don't have to share it with the world. You can keep it to yourself. Put it away and look at it later. If I had only stuck to my comfort zone, if I had only stuck with the things that I felt like I could do well, then I would never, ever, ever, ever have gotten to where I'm at now. I would never have been creating coloring pages. I would never be doing, you know, color alongs on YouTube. I would never be, you know, none of this would be happening if I had never tried coloring my first person. Because before I did that person, I said to myself and to my mom, I cannot color people. I will never be able to color people. Who am I kidding? I can't do that. And I tried, and I don't know, some of you may have seen it on Instagram. My very first person was was Medusa from Kirby Roseanne's Mythomorphia. And it was terrible. I mean, I guess everybody's opinion of what something terrible is different, but it was flat. It was like a single color over the entire page. I didn't know how to contour or shade, but I did it. And I said to myself, you know what? This is not great, but I want to learn how to do it better. So I watched YouTube tutorials and I studied, photographs or studied, other people's artwork, because you can learn a lot by just looking at a piece that's been done by someone else. And I slowly taught myself how to do portraits. It was outside of my comfort zone, but I wanted to try it, so I did it. White paper. White paper is outside of my comfort zone. It takes me longer. Everything takes me longer on white paper. It's just not my go-to. But I don't want to be a colorist that can never color on white paper. So the only way that I'm going to learn and get better at it is to do it. Where am I going with all of this? Well, where I'm going with this is, if I could have a, Christmas wish, if I could have a wish for you for the new year, it would be for you to let go of your fear when it comes to coloring, and try new things. To avoid doing a page that you really like because there's something on that page that you are not comfortable doing. That makes me sad. You'll never be able to do it unless you try it. And all it is a piece of paper. So there you go. There's my lecture. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else because I try and do new things. I'm still guilty of staying in a comfort zone for a lot of things. But I would love for you guys to release that fear and in the new year, try some things that you might not have tried and see what happens. You never know what you may be good at or get good at if you don't try. So that's how I feel about that. Yeah. Be brave. It's really amazing to me. I've been using these Lightfast pencils in conjunction, in partnership with my other pencils. I've been using them with my Prismacolors, and they work beautifully. But boy, when you use them by themselves, it's definitely obvious that they're an oil-based pencil. Very similar in opacity, I guess, to Polys. Because I think if I had been doing this with a light peach Prismacolor, I would be done by now. But it'll be fun, I think. I think I'm gonna enjoy the process. I'm gonna try really hard to work on this like I would be working on it if the camera was not on. If I was just practicing with some new pencils and not worry about time or anything else. Just going for it and seeing what happens. So oh, I have a question for you guys. Would any of you be interested in me doing any lives next year? I'm not sure what I would do other than, maybe just pick one thing. Like maybe I would do the first video. Maybe I would do the skin live, and then, the rest of the video would be, just recorded. And the lives are always, they can always be left up. It's not like it would go away and you wouldn't be able to see it if you weren't able to join. But I just wasn't sure if that was something that anybody was interested in or not. I do know that my concentration when I do lives is less because I'm concentrating on reading, the chat and stuff like that. So if I do a live, I might just pick something that's a little easier that I don't have to concentrate so hard on. Okay, I'm thinking that I'm going to do the head, the face first, and then the second, because I just have a strong feeling that this is going to take, that this is going to be a two-parter. I don't know, I just feel like it is. Okay, so I pulled that Chestnut Lightfast out, and now I can't find it. What? Sorry. 88. Did I put it away? Yes, I did. All right, so let's bring out the Chestnut Lightfast again. It feels a little bit better now going over the. Oh yeah, that feels a lot better going over that cinnamon. Is that what I used? Yeah, cinnamon color. It feels really nice. It's gliding well over the paper. I'm using really, really, really light pressure. So I'm really curious, when you use when you use Prismas, like the wax-based pencils, things like, I don't know if you can see it, but things like that little extra bit of pencil, that pencil mark, they blend out really well. This is the cinnamon again. They blend out really well because the colors all smoosh together. I don't know if that will happen with a pencil that needs to be layered. I just don't know. See, this is like really stepping out of my comfort zone too, because I'm not used to these colored pencils. Not for doing, not for doing skin tones entirely. Okay, I guess we'll do a little bit of this along this edge here. I'm going to leave a tiny little bit of lightness on the edge of her face. So that's like reflected light. I'm so excited for the new year to come because I've been saving some pages for after the new year. I've been working on a whole line of fairies that I really like. So I'll be excited to be able to finally do those for you. And yeah, I started when I first started coloring. I really liked doing the fantasy pages and the fairies, and so it kind of dawned on me like, why haven't you done any fairies yet? So I've been working on them for the last couple of months. And probably in the first quarter of the year, I will be able to have a coloring book ready for you guys if you would prefer a coloring book. I'm publishing it myself. The first one that I'm doing, I'm not going through a publisher. I'm not I'm not going that direction. It's basically going to be me doing it all myself. And I'm not sure, I know it stinks, but I'm not sure how, if I'm going to be able to sell it outside of the States or not. When I was doing pet portraits, I had people contacting me from other countries wanting to know prices and stuff to have a pet portrait done for them. And when I looked into the cost of shipping outside of the country, I was stunned. And you guys have experienced that when you go to try and, you know, buy something from like from Etsy, from what's the name of that site that Moon runs, Cool Craft Books. You know, the coloring book is $30, and then shipping is another, you know, 30 or 35 bucks. And that's just nuts. And I found actually that it seems like shipping from the States outside, you know, like outside, like say to England, from the United States to England, the shipping costs more than from England to the United States. It's just outrageous. So please keep in mind that when that time comes and I do produce the book, and I give a shipping cost outside of the continental US, please know that that is not me making any money on that shipping. That is purely what the shipping company is going to charge me to post that book outside of the country. And I just don't know what that's going to be yet. I need to produce the book. I need to get one made so that it's fully, so that the weight can be fully accurate, and then take it over and kind of give some examples of different post codes and, you know, countries, and get an idea of what the cost is going to be. I'm going to switch back to the cinnamon. I just don't know what it is. I don't know what it's going to be yet. So, all right, I think I need to fix this just a little bit. Bring this down just a hair. Okay, so yeah, so it's exciting. I'm happy to get a book done, but I'm just really, I'm worried about what the shipping costs are going to be. I'm just using the lightest of pressure here, just barely touching the pencil, because I don't want it to be too dark. All right, let's, I don't know. I don't know what's best. This is back to the cinnamon again. I could do another layer of the cinnamon, or I could break out something a little bit darker. So what do we got here? So Persian Orange is a beautiful color for skin tones, but I think it's a little bit too early for that yet. Kind of debating on something like this burnt sienna, or we go to Polychromos and anything good for Polychromos? Burnt ochre, maybe. That's a little yellow, a little orange. I think I'm going to just keep layering some of this cinnamon on here a little bit more before I don't know. I think you know what? I know what I need. I need some of this chestnut. up in here. So let's do that. That's why it was looking like it was too light, because it is too light. Really need a light touch here. That's my biggest worry, is that I won't be able to cover up and blend out the pencil strokes if I get any pencil strokes that are too heavy. All right, let's try. Looks like I'm kind of sticking with Derwent Lightfast for the most part right now. Let's try Sienna. Sienna. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, that's nice. It's a little orange, but that's okay. I think that's just fine. More dogs, so Cooper's going to be barking for a little bit here. So it's very, very possible that if you've purchased this page, because you know the timing of when I film this and when the things actually go out, online is a little different. It's I'm recording this much earlier than it's actually getting put on YouTube. But if you've purchased this page, it's very possible that the picture that I'm going to include with the purchase of the page is going to be the other one, the original, as the reference photo. I'm not sure, because I have no idea how this is gonna turn out. And actually, that one, was done with Prismas, so I don't know. I don't know what you're going to get yet, so be prepared for either option. I like how it's going so far, though. It's taking longer, but I'm not unhappy. So that's good. This is kind of a nice color. All right, I want to be careful right here. I'm starting to see my little pencil strokes because this is all pretty much raw white paper. So I want to make sure that I'm really lightening my pressure there. So I've had people ask me how to choose the colors that you're going to use. And I wish there was some like magic formula that I could tell them or tell you. But I think it just comes with the doing. There's not a magic formula where I can say, you know, this color, then this color. And I did have one lady send me a message with a photograph of a portrait that she wanted to do and asked me, what colors should I use for this? I'm using, you know, and gave me the brands of pencils. And I had to write back to her and say, I'm so sorry, but I just can't, I don't know. I don't know what colors to use for that. Trying to replicate the exact skin colors on a picture. Boy, that is something completely, that's a whole skill set in and of itself, I think. And that's something that I'm not there yet. I could, you know, I might be able to come close. But thankfully, when I do my my pages, I get to pick what color skin or the tones that I want to put in that skin. But yeah, that just comes with experience. And I definitely I definitely get it wrong plenty of times. So these are a really nice pencil. I'm enjoying using these quite a bit. I haven't pulled out the polys yet, really. I probably should. But in my head, I did not enjoy using polys as much as I'm enjoying using these. But I'm not sure what exactly the difference is. I think these feel more like Prismas, even though they're an oil-based pencil and they're still sheer. The way that they feel on the paper to me almost feels like closer to a Prisma. I don't know. I could be wrong. You know, everybody has the way that they feel about different pencils and how they work. I feel like I got too far onto this white part. Not happy about that. Now, where did I put my eraser? I just had it. Seriously. It's like I have a desk the size of a kitchen table. It's humongous, and yet somehow I managed to misplace stuff. Okay. So these rubber, what do you call these? Kneaded erasers are awesome. Especially if you want a soft erase, which that is exactly what I wanted. So that worked out really, really well. Those are probably my favorite erasers. Even though a good electric eraser is really nice, I will admit. All right, so I'm going to start pulling a little bit of this color on top of this side of her nose. I want to make sure that it looks, rounded. I'm laughing at the time because I know that this is taking forever. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit more of this particular color in here in the, I don't know what I would call this, the freckle zone, right here around her nose. One thing I do like about these really sheer pencils like this and the Polychromos is that I can add tons of different colors in here. And I think I won't be running out of tooth. I can get each color kind of shows underneath the color above it. So I think we're going to bring in another color. But what? That's the question. Okay, so I think I might try to pull in some violet now. And then I wonder what I'm going to blend with. I might blend everything with pale peach. That's kind of a nice color. All right, so we have Mars Violet. The other thing I like about the Derwent Lightfast, there's no numbers. It's all names. And I like that. I cannot use numbers. I don't like using numbers. Numbers don't stick in my head. All right, so this is interesting because I feel like, and I could be totally wrong, but it almost feels like, I've got more color right in here than I have anywhere else on the face, and it almost feels like it's not going to take any more color, which is, I feel like that's impossible. My layers are real thin. My paper has a decent amount of tooth, and yet I'm really having to put quite a bit of pressure on this to get any color to show. That can't be right. It's just got to be the color. Yeah, I guess it's kind of showing. Let's get some pink on here, I think. Right after I finish with this. Yeah, this is definitely not behaving like I'm used to. Like, is it even adding any color on here? Yeah, I guess it is. All right, well, I'm not happy with that, so let's try something else. Okay, this is where I might pull in. What do I do? So do I do like Persian Orange, which is close to Sienna, or do I go with something like Venetian Red, Polychromos? I want this to be quite a bit darker, quite a bit darker. Let's try Polychromos. So, Polychromos Venetian Red. I'm going to start very lightly, just making sure I don't put too much color down initially. I don't know about this. Boy, I tell you, people who can use, there's some really wonderful portrait artists here on YouTube. You know, they're doing original portrait work. And quite a few of them use Polychromos. And it's just fascinating to watch. I don't know what they're doing. All right, I'm starting to not love this right now. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to the Lightfast. And let's just try adding some pale peach and see what that looks like. I just don't know. So now I can press quite a bit harder with this one because it's such a light color. So I'm going to see if it will let me blend. I still want to lighten my pressure as I work my way into the areas that haven't gotten any color on them yet, because otherwise you'll have quite heavy pencil strokes there on the white. But here where there's pencil down already, I'm applying a bit more pressure because I want to see if I can get this to start looking like I want it to. This pale peach is kind of nice because it's a bit on the yellowish side, you know. It's so it's kind of achieving what I want with one pencil. Okay, lighten up my pressure as I work my way into that highlight that I want here on the top of her cheek. I'm applying a decent amount of pressure, but I wouldn't say that I'm pressing as hard as, you know, like I'm not burnishing. I'm not pressing that hard. Just giving it a decent, steady pressure. So what's interesting is not really the right word. What I'm trying to figure out is this the way it's supposed to look as far as the texture that I'm kind of seeing? Is this the way it's supposed to look, or is this because I am not using the right technique, or is this because I'm not used to what these pencils look like when, you know, in the finished product. It's a new experience for me, so I'm not sure what to expect. You know, you get used to how one thing looks. In this case, my wax-based pencils. And I don't know. I don't even know if this is the white. This. All right, I'm going to come back and keep going on the nose a little bit. Continuing with the pale peach. I messed up my highlight here. Okay, so I want to make sure that the highlight on her nose is kind of more on this side of that ball. I'm going to come in and add a little bit more color. This is cinnamon over here. Otherwise, her nose is going to get all misshapen. It's better. Pale peach. All right. Let's put some color on her cheeks. Kind of like this autumn red. Let's just see what that. One thing about the Derwent Lightfast, I can tell you, they have very, very few pinks. And I'm imagining that the reason for that is that because all of these pencils are light fast pencils, like extremely light fast pencils, they're not putting a lot of pinks in. But I'm looking at Polychromos, and all of these pinks have a pretty high light fast rating. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know why there aren't very many pinks. So let's pick a Polychromos pink for her cheeks. I'm kind of going, I don't know. Let's try this pink Madder Lake, but I do want to see what this autumn red does too. So pink Madder Lake. Let's do a little bit of this autumn red. like that very much. I might actually put some of that in here. We'll see. All right, let's put a little bit of this pink Madder Lake. I'm laughing at I'm looking at the time. We're missing a lot of color on this side of her face. I could tell with just by even just looking at it. So I need to add some more before I do anything else. So here's the cinnamon. And I need to get some more of this on here because her face is really lacking pigment on this side. All right, so Polychromos Pink Madder Lake. Boy, it's so weird. It's when you're used to Prismas, it's so weird to be laying color down and having it, like my brain is going, where is the color? Where is the color? And it's just because it's such a different animal. Polys are so different from Prismas. All right, I don't like what I did right there, so I'm going to maybe try some pale peach right there. I want to kind of counter some of that pink. And I didn't do any blending up here, so I'll keep coming up here. I feel like that is really dark. I'm not sure if this is going to be able to lighten it enough. Let's just see if we can pull some of that. I think I went too dark in there. Might need a good old-fashioned regular eraser. If you do that, if you use a regular eraser, make sure it's clean. All right, I'm going to use pale peach. I think that's okay. All right, let's see. What do I have out here? Let's do some Sienna her here. Boy, that really gripped just now. Let's go back with cinnamon, I guess. They definitely don't, I don't know, they don't, that's a little bit better. They don't function like, I mean, I've been saying that all along. They don't, I'm trying to use I'm using techniques that I would have used with the Prismas, and that's not necessarily working. All right, I'm going to put some of this pink Madder Lake on her nose. Like, there's just something that's just not smooth to me. In fact, none of this is really smooth to me. I don't know what to do. This is Sienna. It could be that I just don't have enough layers down. I mean, it's very, very possible. There really aren't that many on here yet. So I probably just need to keep working it. I don't know. I'm not happy yet. Made the mistake of taking my pages out of the book, thinking it would be easier for me to find what I'm looking for, but it's not because they're all double-sided. So, all right, we're getting rid of that one. Let's try some Derwent Lightfast Venetian Red. I'm going to do some of that in here. This isn't working. It's okay. You can do it. All right, let's try instead. Let's put some freckles in here with this color. All right. I'm going to take some cinnamon and I'm going to use it here on top of her nose. That's a little bit better. What other choices do I have in Lightfast? Dusky Pink. is pinker. And then that autumn red that I didn't. Let me do some of that in here. I'm still feeling like we're lacking the right purple. So maybe instead of that grayed purple, what was that? Mars Violet. Instead of that one, maybe I need to pull out some actual more purpley tones. And I also want this side of her nose to be a little bit darker. So I'm going to pull out Merlot, which is a browner, like a little bit more purpley. Well, it's a little like browner, I guess. It's not quite as red as the chestnut. I'm going to try and get this shaded better. Every once in a while when you hear that squeak, that's me kind of sitting back, pulling back from my page so that I can kind of take it in. I'm not quite so up on top of it, and it helps me see a little bit better what I need to do. All right, I'm going to put some freckles up here on her forehead. And that forehead still has a lot of work. I think we need some color in here, but I don't want it to be super dark, so I'm going to use this pale peach. So these are our choices for purples. I actually just think I'm going to try that number 35. Well, sorry, it's my number 35. To you, it's just purple. I'm trying to decide where I want this. Something's still not right. Now, a lot of that could be because I'm looking at these gray lips. You guys know that I get to a point where I feel like I have to do the eyes and lips because I can't tell anymore what my skin tone needs without it. Good grief, we're almost... I think the last time I tried to do a portrait with polys, it took a gazillion years for me to get it as well. So I apologize. All right, I'm going to put some autumn red over here. This is the Derwent Lightfast. What I'm not happy with is the amount of smoothness that I have yet to achieve. But again, I don't know if that's because I still have a long, long way to go, or if it's just that's what I'm going to get with this combination of pencil and paper. So that's another reason that I do like to tell people, if you're new to portraits and you haven't if you're new to portraits and you're not happy with the results that you're getting, sometimes it's not it's not you, it's the combination of paper and pencils that you're using. So sometimes you just want to try something different. Try a different kind of paper or try a different pencil. I might try blending with white here. Or we have this. They have this color called Oyster, which is like, to me, it reminds me of the pink white from Luminance. So let's just try it and see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and blend into the white. Well, I don't want to go too much on top of this dark area because I don't want to lighten it, but I don't know what to blend it with. Will my Caran d'Ache blender work on that? I'm not happy with the tone, with the skin tone, with the color itself. I think I'm just not super happy, but I don't know what color to add to fix it. Like the nose just looks blotchy to me. Not happy. All right, I'm going to try cinnamon under here. Is that one of the lightest ones? I could use, oh, that will make it too light. We'll go with cinnamon. I want to try and get this blended a little bit. and get this smoother. I really feel like I've just run out of tooth. I don't know. Just, my goodness. That's what happens when you get, when I get, discouraged, frustrated. What's the word? I make dumb mistakes when I start getting frustrated. All right, so I'm sitting here and I'm kind of trying to absorb a little bit of what's going on here. And I just don't know. I'm curious to see what happens if I use this. Well, that seemed to work okay for smoothing stuff. So, I think she still needs more pink on her cheeks. And so I'm kind of wondering if I should go a little bit darker. Maybe I should move into the... No, you know what? Let's try Rose Carmine. I don't want to give up. Like, part of me, my brain is going, nope, trash it, start over. But after what I just, like, said to you guys about stepping out of your comfort zone and stuff, I feel like it's my responsibility to keep going. If I wasn't filming, I would keep going until I worked this through. So I'm gonna keep going. All right, I'm gonna slow down on this side of her face because for whatever reason I'm neglecting this side of her face with my pigments, and I don't want to have icky pencil marks like I just put in there. And I think I'm going to do her lips. See, it's starting to get better already. I just have to figure out what colors I need to get to where I want to be. It's still not quite smooth enough in my... All right, we can do this. Let's I don't know. Darn it. Okay. I'm going to try some. I don't know why. It's counterintuitive to what I'm thinking I need, but I'm going to put some yellow ochre on here. much. Looks a little bit yellow right in there. She needs some more color in here. This is what happens when you work with new colors. You just have to kind of play until you're happy. Okay, this is Dusky Pink. She's too yellow now. Oh. Okay, this might be a mistake. This is Arctic, which is like a blue, well, it's a blue white, but it's not, it's very little blue. But maybe that will. I refuse to get frustrated. This is that Mars Violet. I did make the mistake of putting that yellow ochre on, and I think it just made her skin too yellow. Hang on, let me see what I think about this. This is Persian Orange. Which you might think, well, wait a minute, why are you putting Persian Orange on there when you already feel like the skin is too yellow? That doesn't make sense. And I would say to you, you're right. I have no idea why I'm doing it. There was just something. Oh, I don't like how her nose has turned out. Maybe we just need more pink instead of the oranges and the yellows. All right, we've got a color called Salmon, which is a very light pink. I am definitely running out of tooth. I just can't. Feel like I'm going nowhere. Oh, like nothing's happening here. Nothing at all. Every time I sit back, I'm saying to myself, you just need to shut the camera off and start over and do it with something else. And I hate to do that. I just... Because what happens is I start getting obsessed over certain aspects of it, and I miss other aspects that I really should be working on. Other things, I don't know. Like this. I haven't put any color on top of her eyebrow, or on top of her eyelids at all. And I'm not happy with the shape that I've created for her nose. It's amazing to me how the lights and darks can completely shape something or misshape something because you've got the highlights or shadows in the wrong place or in the wrong amount, and it will change the whole contouring of the face. Highlights where they don't belong can make something look like it's puffy or standing out. when it's not supposed to be. Having another case of looking through the viewfinder, and it looks really, really yellow. All right, I need to do her lips because that will help me know what to do next. So I'm going to take white, and I think I'm going to use that autumn red. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put my white in. I hope this is right. Okay. I'm going very lightly. I'm going to use some Dusky Pink. I'm not sure if that's the right color or not. No, it's not. We need something else. So a little bit more of this. Actually, the Dusty Pink might be okay. All right, let's try it. Dusty Pink. I don't think I want cherry red, but it might give me just a little bit of, let's try a little bit of the cherry red. This is so odd. It's odd to go from. I can definitely see how, you know, people stick with what they started with as far as colored pencils go. You know, you've got people who love their polys and people who, and quite often people who love polys are not huge Prismacolor fans, because you learn how to color with, you know, a particular brand. And the other one functions so differently. And that's what I'm experiencing right now, is that I'm used to the way that my wax-based pencils work. Now, when I use this, again, I think I told you this, but when I use this these Lightfast pencils in conjunction with my Prismas, I love them. They work great. They layer in, they add those bits of color that, you know, maybe Prisma doesn't have. But using them completely by themselves is a whole other animal. All right. I don't hate it. I do feel like this needs to be longer, or I'm going to have to make her lip taller, because that line between the, whatever that's called, was just too, it was too wide. Now it looks too long, though. Oh, just phooey. That's just all I have to say. Phooey. Not happy. That's better. The shape of this is off. All right, guys, I don't hate it so much now. I'm gonna, let's just put a little tiny bit of this for our teeth. I don't hate it. We're almost at 2 hours and I'm not anywhere near done. That's just wrong. But I don't hate it. Like I felt like I was hating it, and then I did the lips, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, okay, that's not so bad. I want more freckles, though. I can tell you that. This is Merlot. this is Oyster. Just gonna work on that highlight. All right, I'm going to have to use a Polychromos black because, unfortunately, my set came with 2 Mars blacks and no 2 Mars blacks and no black, no regular black. And boy howdy, I'm gonna say customer service to fix that problem was not very good. Supposedly I had to I had to fight them to send me the proper pencil, and they wanted me to send back the whole set. And the set came from England. So, me sending a whole set back to Jackson's Art Supply when I'm in Arizona just was stupid. It just didn't make sense. And I had to really, gosh, it was awful. Any other company that I've ever had where there's been a problem with a pencil in a set, they've just instantly sent me out a replacement pencil saying, we're sorry, here's a replacement pencil. They were buttheads. And I got a letter saying, okay, we'll be, I finally got an email saying that we'll, for this one time, like they were doing me a favor, this one time special favor to me, they were going to send me out the black pencil. Like it was my fault that the pencil was not in the set. Anyway, that hasn't come. It's been weeks and weeks and weeks. And it hasn't come. So I'm not holding my breath on that. All right, I think that I'm going to go ahead and continue with this with these pencils. Seriously thinking I was gonna stop and do something else, but I think that it's okay. It's almost 2 hours. I haven't done the eyes yet. Should I do the eyes now? Oh my goodness. All right, let's just do the eyes. Good grief. Good grief, Charlie Brown. All right, I'm going to use Cool Gray. Let's try that. That's not very dark at all. So we need Cloud Gray. Boy, that looks like it's metallic. I kind of think that's a metallic color, which is odd. It really looks metallic-y. Salmon. Well, I was going to use Dusty, there it is, Dusky Pink. Let's try that in here. Jeez, that guy's coming up to the front door. No, I'm not answering, which means my dog is going to bark like crazy. So just be aware that he is going to go nuts. And this is Polychromos Rose Carmine. I don't ever answer the door when I'm alone in the house. I don't care who you are. Well, I mean, if I know you, I'll answer the door, but if I don't know who's there, I do not answer the door. If it's that important, they'll leave a note or come back, but it's almost never that important. Unfortunately, I'm here in my studio with my, when my curtains open and my lights on in here, so they might know that I'm here, but I don't care. I don't care if they know. All right, so I want a really pretty amber brown. I don't know if Venetian Red is the right color, but we're going to try that. So that is number 89. My number 89. Sorry. And I have it out already, so now I have to find it. So bear with me while I look for that color. There it is. All right, and I think I want like a, let's try that yellow ochre. All right, I'm gonna put some, I don't know if this is gonna work or not, because these are, again, this is another one of those reasons why I prefer wax-based pencils on grayscale, because the lighter colors of the what am I trying to say? Cooper, they're gone, buddy. They're gone. Oil-based pencils don't cover grayscale as well as wax-based pencils. They just don't. All right. Let's do some black. Hey, come here. It's okay. You're a good boy. You're a good watchdog. Keep those guys away. Yeah, you're a good boy. Okay. I'm going to pull out this light aqua, and I'm going to put that in. It's really, really light. I don't know if it'll make a difference. I wanted it to be just a tiny little bit blue. All right. So I'm just softening that line a little bit, coming up and kind of smudging it, I guess, is what I would. Something about her eyes look funny to me right now. But I don't know why. I think I want that waterline to be a little bit pinker. I'm going to use some of this Pink Madder Lake Polychromos. And I can't tell if I'm not happy about what she looks like because I don't like her eyebrows. I've got to get off of here. It's like over 2 hours now. So we'll keep working on her when I come back. Yeah, you know, this is one of those times when I just want to keep working on it until I get it the way I want it. Something's just not right. Oh, well, that was very brown. I thought that was the color that I used, Venetian Red, but whew, boy, did that come out brown. Phooey. Actually, I kind of like the brown. Not specifically where I have it, but I'm kind of liking that brownish color in there. I'm looking for a blender, my little skinny blender, not my big one, my Prisma blender. Dang it. There's got to be one here somewhere. There. Okay, so I'm going to blend this away. However, I liked that look. I liked that bit of brown. I'm going to try some Persian Orange. I like that. Yep, I like that. Yeehaw. I kind of feel like there needs to be some more. Let's do Merlot under Somebody stop me, please. All right, I'm happier for the most part with her lips. All right, guys, I'm going to call that a wrap for this video. When I come back next time, probably tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to, wait the full 2 days. And I actually think I might start uploading the videos for all of my tutorial color alongs from now on. I think I might start uploading them one after the other on any given day. Does that make sense? Like not take a break in between videos, but then take a longer break in between the tutorial. Hopefully that makes sense and you know what I mean. All right, I'm gonna say goodbye now that we're at like 2 hours and 10 minutes. But I think she looks okay. If I need to make any changes, I will do that on the next video. So until then, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Happy coloring. Bye-bye.